Hi everyone, I'm Devanshi Shah. I am the one behind the page The Pediatrics Girl on Instagram. I am currently in the Match 2021 and I just completed all my interviews. I woke up today morning with a bang of the announcement of Step 2 CS being cancelled altogether. And I think it's a very important step taken by the USMLE organization in conjunction with ECFMG. And there are many aspects to this that we need to talk about because it is a landmark decision. I would otherwise never have made a video. I'm not somebody who speaks a lot on video. I prefer writing it all down. But I think this has come at such a time that everybody's very confused and there are a lot of things that are being changed. This is just another one of those many things which have changed. So let's talk a bit about every aspect of it and how it will impact all of us, especially IMGs. So firstly, the CS exam came in 2004. So it's not one of those very long-standing standardized examination which has been there. It's only since 2004. But if you go to see, it's almost 15 to 16 years old. And it's been there for such a long time that many of the recent graduates, all of us have written Step 2 CS. I did Step 2 CS. Let me tell you what exactly it was, just so that you have an idea what would have been there and what perhaps might come later. So Step 2 CS was a whole day examination. You had to go to any 5 centers in the United States. I went to Houston. There are 12 case scenarios, that is 12 patient encounters. These patients are actors, so they're standardized patients, SP encounters. You go in for 15 minutes. They will talk to you about their problems. So you take down their history, do their physical examination, and then you talk to them about what could be the probable diagnosis, what are the tests that can be done, and counsel them on their lifestyle. At the end of it, you come out and you get 5 minutes to write down the patient notes. So overall 20 minutes. After every 3 such encounters, there's a break for 10 minutes. We also have a lunch break where lunch is provided, which is nice. And it's a whole suite, so the entire space is for them, and big center, but it happens only in 5 cities: Houston, Los Angeles, Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta. And Houston was considered the most IMG friendly city because somehow there was always information given about which patients there are. It was a little lax. I don't know. I don't think there should be any problem in a standardized exam, but it was what it was. That's why I took Houston. I had a great time, but definitely very expensive exam, and also the expense of staying there. I stayed in that city for 3 weeks in a hotel and had to practice with the other IMGs. So that was a whole other experience, but definitely expensive. Now, fast forward to this year when we all went in for the Match 2021. Quite a few of us did not have CS done. And that's why the ECFMG came up with these alternative pathways for people to be certified so that they could be eligible to go into the match. So what were the pathways? There were 5 pathways decided. Pathway 1 is when you get a medical permanent license number in your own home country, which makes you eligible for that. Pathway 2 is that you have done some sort of standardized clinical examination, and OSCE, I guess you all know about it, done in your home country. OSCEs are performed as part of in UK in the GMC registration, or if you're going for the Australian residency, then it's done by AMC. In Ireland, it's done in Canada. In India, we don't really have any particular company which is doing an OSCE, so that's a bit of a problem. Pathway 3, as far as I remember, was Pathway 3 was it was that you have your medical school has to be accredited by an agency recognized by the WFME. This is basically what's going to be a rule for every school as part of the ECFMG accreditation from 2024. So if your school already has it, you are eligible. 4th pathway was if your school is part of the US federal school loan system, which I think most international schools are in. And 5th pathway was if your medical school is in conjunction with the United States medical school and gives you the degree, or it's an LCME accredited college. So for most IMGs, pathway 1 or pathway 2 would work. For many, pathway 1 only. And people from Pakistan had a lot of problem too because they were given a graduation and they didn't have to really do a house job, so they were not really taking any license or permanent registration number to become eligible to be part of the math system. So it's actually kind of a difficult scenario because you have to be accredited by any one of those pathways to be eligible to be ECFMG certified. Plus, the requirement is that you have to have a good conversational skill in English. So at the place of CS, what was introduced was OET, which is an occupational English testing. OET medicine it is. That's the test we all need to take as international medical graduates. And it requires a minimal score of 350 or a grade B in each of its sections, which is reading, writing, listening, speaking. I have taken TOEFL in my time for the electives, and it was not such a tough exam if you put your mind to it and you've really practiced it. But I've heard a lot of things about OET being tough, so I'm going to be making another post about it because I think it's better that we discuss OET just like how I would discuss any other STEP exam now that it's become so important. Now that I've described the pathways to you, people who were certified by pathways were eligible for the match 2021 and could go into the match, were ECFMG certified, went for the interviews. The same thing will continue in Match 2022 is basically what they're saying now that CS has been permanently cancelled and not just suspended. So if you are already ECFMG certified through any of the pathways and do not match into a residency program, you can continue to Match 2022 with the same thing. Or from now on, if you are planning to go into Match 2022, these are one of the requirements plus OET pass and of course your step 1, step 2. And you need to pay $900 and then you'll be ECFMG certified. So what was considered a temporary ECFMG certificate for 2021 will now become a permanent one. Okay, and that is how you can go into the match, and I think with that itself you can take the step 3 examination. Now I know it's a lot of information, I know it's confusing. As is everything in USMLE, this is also equally confusing. And I completely understand that many of you were not prepared. You were looking forward to doing Step 2 CS and completing it. But now there's an additional thing about applying through pathway, preparing for OET, which none of us have ever been introduced to. So there is always that problem. And I completely understand and empathize with you all. But just take OET like any other English exam, prepare for it well, and you'll be fine. And I will try to help you all through it as much as I know, as much as I can understand from it, and try to give you the best resources that can help you out with it. Now, why was CS cancelled when we had plans of it being revitalized? So let me tell you something, that the implementation of a virtual CS in 192 countries across the world is very, very tough. When it was limited to one country, 5 centers, in-person encounters, it was definitely much easier to perform. But for them to find a whole new technology to get Prometric on board for it and everything must have been extremely difficult. Not only to mention, it must have been time consuming, a lot of money must have been going into it and all. But that doesn't mean that they will not come up with an alternative. There is a wording in the announcement that they are looking for other medical partners to find an innovative solution to this problem. So the possibility of another clinical skills exam coming is not remote. It can happen. But it will take time. So for the next, maybe this year, 2 years, 3 years, we will be going via these pathways and OET. And till the time they do come up with some solution, which is going to take a lot of time, I believe, because this is a very big decision. This is what it is. So, for those who are going into match or are currently preparing, complete your step 1 and step 2 CK well, because now the components in it of patient communication and safety will increase. So prepare well for all of that. I believe that a lot of first aid covers it, UWorld covers it well. Divine Intervention podcasts are great because he writes a lot about how NBME tests these kind of things, and it's good. Personally, these are the best resources. There are always our time-tested resources such as BNB and Kaplan and all, which will also keep up with the times and come up with newer and better videos for dealing with these. So do well in step 1 and step 2 CK, and even step 3 will have all of these components of patient communication, safety, ethics, all of that, which is part of what CS was testing. And at the same time, do well in your OET, try to pass in the first attempt. There's no limit on attempts in OET. but it's just that it's time consuming, and why do you want to keep writing an exam? So let's prepare really well for OET. I'll be putting up a post about it soon enough, once I also understand what exactly this exam requires, because I did not have to write it, of course. And we try to get yourself eligible for any one of the pathways. So if you have an OSCE in your country, go for the OSCE, complete it, pass it well. If you are somebody who is going to be going through pathway 1, try to get yourself graduated and registered so that you're eligible for pathway 1 when you apply for the match. And yeah, let's see, there is definitely a lot more information that will be coming, but at this point, this is it. This is what we're working with, and I hope that I've tried to explain to you everything that is there. Another thing is, if you have a step attempt of 2 or more times, you will be ineligible to apply via any of the pathways. So definitely try to prepare well and then only go for any of the exams. So let your NBMEs and UWSAs speak about it. Your score should be in your goal range. Do not go if it's too close to 210, 220, because there is a chance you may fail. And 2 or more attempts of failure make you ineligible for participating in the match entirely, because you won't be ECFMG certified. Also, those who are already have completed step 2 CS or have already been certified, that will continue, and then you can go into the match. If you you have a temporary certificate and you match into a residency program, nothing to worry about. Because now that step 2 CS is gone, that requirement is gone, you have matched, great, go ahead with your residency and start working on step 3 completion. So that's it. For now, this is all the information we have in, that's what we understand from it, and hopefully there'll be more clarity as and when the time comes. So best of luck everyone, and let's rejoice now that CS is gone.